What's up, folks? This is Sonny Black from the Naam Brigade, and it's the first part of the Untold interview.
This thing called fame, you know, and I'm just gonna stick to your era and your success. When you guys was out there on the road, fame comes with jealousy. It comes with envy. It comes with a lot of cutthroat, you know what I'm saying, levels.
Most of the 7 deadly sins.
How did you guys, when did that occur, let me ask you, to you guys?
We can all answer that in our own way. You can start going.
You talking about like jealousy and envy coming and stuff? I mean, you know, when you out on the road, you gotta pay attention because there's wolves out there. And we coming from that, we can pick up on it because we moved how we move. We move like soldiers because when you think people love you, they don't love you. You know what I mean? They had, when we was on the Paid in Full tour, they had a stick-up crew that robbed all the rappers that come into town in a certain city. I ain't gonna say the city, but that city, that's how people be. That's why you gotta move right out on the road. They come for you. Like it's going on now, you know, things happen with rappers. It just wasn't seen with the social media, but it was going down. You had to move right.
Well, it was doing a lot of jealousy and envy close, very close to us. I think that was probably part of the reason that hindered our success. In hindsight, we should have worried about ourselves. We put a lot of people on. They ain't really understand the game. You understand what I'm saying? So they was easily manipulated and infiltrated. But we was the prize. And we was bringing guys along that didn't understand it. Then they seen our lifestyle, how we getting treated with the labels. And then a lot of cutthroat little slice and dice things was happening at the time, you know. So jealousy and envy is just a part of it. But it's just a part of the game.
You don't even need a tour or do music or anything of that.
You get that, just like hustling in the hood, just being you.
You just be you.
Coming. You getting the girls. Somebody mad. You can play ball.
I tell you what,
they mad.
You definitely gotta be careful on the road, man. Your presence, it means everything.
It means a lot.
You know what I mean? And you know, you come, this street niggas talking like it ain't where you from, it's where you at. You lunch and you get got. You know what I mean? If you ain't on point, shit can happen.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be militant sometimes and just be on your vibe. That was us. That was us most of the time. So we really went out with a couple of our FOI homies, they kept us on point. You know what I mean? We was the stars. They had a rough one with us because they like these motherfuckers. But at the same time, the only reason why they on our team is because we need y'all to keep us on point. So we moved accordingly. You know what I mean? We ain't play the bullshit. We hit one spot to A to B. You know what I mean? You can party later at the hotel. We ain't invite people to the hotels and none of that shit. We was just on our shit. Yeah. At the same time, it's a place and time for everything. And that's just the tip we was on.
And we always discuss times, move out times.
Yeah.
Everybody knew. At this time, boom, we here, we gone.
Listen, that used to be some shit. Move motherfuckers like, damn, I done made the roll. Like, I made the roll up. I got roll. Like, you got roll. Shit getting crazy.
Chilling back with a chick, all that stuff. You coming. You not bye, shorty. You ain't coming.
And on some real shit, that's, like you said, tour life is work. Some nights we had to roll. Like something, we had to be in another city by a show by a certain time, but you might have an interview on a morning show, something like that. So you gotta leave.
In stores.
Yup, all types of shit. That shit was where you didn't get no sleep.
I remember when we was touring with 50, and I seen him in the gym, and he was exhausted from the tour. And this was when he just was charting. He showed me the book. He like, I just beat R. Kelly this week on the charts. He said, I'm tired of shit today, man. He said, they gonna get like 70% on that show. I said, no, nigga, give him 100. He said, give him 100. I'm like, yeah, give him 100. You know what I'm saying?
How was it on those tours? No. Which one of y'all was the wild person on the tour?
I'll get that to him.
So give me a backdrop. A typical day on the tour, you guys waking up and things like that in a different city.
I wanted to go to the hood, you know what I mean, see what it's like in the most dangerous spots out there because you're just out in the world, you know what I mean? Like going here, going to the mall. I remember we used to do shows and security used to be like, yo, don't go near the crowd, man. They're gonna do this. And I do it and get shirts ripped, this, that. Getting ready to argue with gang dudes, stepping to people. Like, I was just, I was just in the moment.
Right.
Just wilding out.
After he used to be shook to come on stage, though. He always was nervous as shit before
My
the show.
anxiety used to get me, you know what I mean?
But once he got over that, he was cool.
Oh,
Diving in the crowd, all that.
A normal day, what I'll tell you is, we was so professional. Like we boys that did everything right. Show up early for the sound check, on time for stage show. Not running over on stage time. I mean, we are the ultimate professionals when it comes to the game.
Season, because we've done it so much, and then when it was time, like I was telling you earlier about getting in the league,
right.
When you get into the league, now, can you make the country like you? Doing the mixtapes in Philly, the neighborhood stuff, shows here, yeah. Now, do the world mess with you? And that's why I was telling you earlier about going to another city and they know your record.
And I want to say this. Everybody tap into early in the game, the album. That was a hell of a piece of work, man.
Yes, sir. I agree.
It's out right now.
But like we went through a lot of real life stuff that people don't know. Like you're looking now, like what happened to them, and they just said, like we went through some real serious stuff, like life stuff, traumatizing.
Well, all the things that
a lot of deaths.
All the things that was back in the day, quote unquote, cool. We was experiencing.
Right.
Indictments, deaths, loved ones passing away. I lost my wife. You understand what I'm saying? And that was more recent than a lot of the other things that we was going through. That so-called street life.
Right.
Caught up at a point. Around us in our neighborhood. So, but we still here. You can't cry over spilled milk. You got to wipe the tears and keep pushing, man.
Yeah.
This is decades of hard work right here.
Because his wife was my cousin, and we grew up like sister and brother, so it affected him, it affected me, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you, Sonny, I can't imagine, losing my wife, man, you know what I'm saying? And my heart go out to you and your family, bro. How is it like, and still, how is it dealing with that?
It's still a disbelief that I think keep me going. It's just I don't think you can never, when you was that close to somebody, you can never just accept it or believe it. I don't believe it to the day. I don't believe it, even though reality-wise you have to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But I think you just hold at the while you hold on to the good memory, man. You know what I'm saying? And you see the strength of your kids. They still, holding their head high, and they make me proud. You know what I'm saying? Because they still thriving, and so that work that you put in them early years paid off, and that her presence is still here.
Right.
It's still living. But the hard part is one of the people that you wanted to do all of this for and share it with is gone. That's rough.
If she was watching this right now, what would be some of the words that she'll tell you directly?
Look at Russell getting mushy.
You better fucking take care of them kids, Dana.
Yeah.
Y'all better get it. It's time.
She was the life of the party.
But it is time. It is time for us to go to put the bow on this, man. We've been doing this a long time.
Right.
A long time. And we've been recreating our years decade after decade after decade. And look at us, man. Boys look good, man.
We've been we've been here selling music. It might not be on your radar, but we've been selling music, selling merch, doing everything, shows, everything.
Q, one of the members, Q Don, passed away. I'm gonna let you guys elaborate, on what happened and things like that. I'm gonna start with you. When you got the news, where were you? and you know what was going through your mind at that time, and then we just go in the line.
Oh, when I got the news, we were standing Lincoln Green up 69 Avenue.
Okay.
And his brother, Dark Maul, who was in the crew, Cognac, was banging on the door. So, you know, we thinking it's the guy, like, yo, because it's like 2-something in the morning. Like, don't. So I peek out the joint. I see they face like sad. So I open the door. I'm like, what happened, man? They like, Q just got killed. I'm like, what? I'm like, y'all crazy. They're like, yo, he out in the parking lot right now. So I'm thinking like it's be something. So I called Sonny. I'm like, yo, Dark Maul and Cognac is right here, like crying like, yo, Ray just got killed. Sonny hung up on me. Click. I called back. He like, yo, Beezy, you play too much. I'm like, Black. They said Ray is dead in the losers parking lot.
What's going through your head at that moment?
Like, my mind was just like, I can't believe it. I'm like, no, because we just was all together. Me, him, and Sonny, he's like, yo, he like, I'm going to the studio. Sonny like, I'm going home because we going on tour the next day. And so Ray didn't go, he went to the studio, but something they had, so they went to Evolutions like, let's just party here. And I'm like, he said he wasn't going there. And then that happened. Straight bullet in the parking lot. These guys robbing some people over there. You know, they robbing them. You know, after they get the stuff, the person run instead of just you got their stuff run. They start dumping at him, and the straight bullet hit him. He getting the girl phone number. Like 2 6 7.
You know, he was doing the interview. Remember he took that picture.
With Sad Sinatra, right?
No, it was a magazine there.
No, I remember the picture.
That pulled them. They pulled him out because it was too loud inside, and they asked him to come outside to do an interview. He did the interview, took the picture. So for me, it was crazy because at that time we were signed to Elektra Records, so we worked on the album for 7.5 months. We finished the album on a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we died. But what I would say is that, you know, I'm gonna save some of it.
What was going through your mind when I called you?
It's like you said, disbelief. I was so in shock that my man Jahad came and got me and took me down to the site. And the whole ride, I didn't believe it because nothing showed that somebody just died. You know, everything was calm still. And then I remember getting up there and he still was there. Still, you know, it's totally unbelievable. He was a good soul, man. I just think he was a spirit. You know, he was an angel.
Yeah, great energy. He was like,
oh man, I'm telling you, man. Yo,
yeah, great energy.
Wow. You know what? You know what? I will say this. Watch what you say. Always think about what you say before you say it.
Yeah.
And I would say that because he mentioned that to me. I won't go into detail about exactly what he said, but we had that conversation.
And he had a song called When I Died.
It wasn't long after that it happened. Rest in peace, Q, boy, we love you, baby.
Losing Q, how did that shift the group?
Yeah, that put us like, we was like...
Got released.
Yeah, from election.
And
then that's when the spirit was, that's when we shifted to do that mixtape, that Soul 20, that green CD.
Right.
To do that, even though we was down and out, like when we did that mixtape, Sunday was gone. You know what I mean? Like mentally, you know what I mean? So it was like we did it, and all of a sudden that was known to be our classic.
You gotta remember, it was an album that had Eve, Missy, Timberland on it. It never came out to the world. That was some of our best work. So a lot of the unfulfillment that we feel is because the work never came out.
That's what the All I Need record was on that album.
Lights, Camera, Action, all of that's there.
All right, y'all jumping the gun. Hold up.
All right. Put the 1 9 milli back on my. Hold up. Yeah.
I mean, you know, losing anybody that you close to, man, you know, mentally it could, you know, bring some type of, you know what I'm saying, like it could just really, you know, damage you as a person. It could determine if you're gonna be strong enough to move forward, or it could have you stuck right there where you at. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, you guys, you know, it hurt it, but you guys continue to, you know, keep pushing on.
Yeah, that time it was because Ice was on house arrest. There was a lot going on, man.
Yeah. Definitely was.
You mentioned Electra.
Yeah.
Is Electra still around?
I don't think so.
Got cut off.
Sylvia Rome's still around because that's who was the president, CEO.
Okay.
She's still around, but that was funny. But she, but I don't think Electra is still there. You know, Buster was on Electra.
Right.
Missy.
Wasn't Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson was on there, yeah.
Yeah, she left A&M and went to
right. So they was all our label mates at the time.
Yeah.
Janet was our label mate on A&M. We was following her.
How was your stay there?
Where? With Electra?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was listen. It was us, State Property, Major Figures, and Ram Squad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we was heavy at that time. That was a major label with a major push coming behind it. And then it just got swept right from under us. And actually, after Q9 passed, we had a white label that was out. So imagine going back to the label and your first test a white label record, that's what they call it back then. All the records that's going to go across the country to all the DJs. We got boxes stacked up that's going to go out to the. So it's just like you right there, and then it's snatched from under.
But people ain't get that work, so they looking at it like, I don't them saying they legendary. It's like that work would have came out. And them stuff would have came out. You know, you would have seen it. You know, shout out to AI coming to Ray's funeral. That's my guy.
Did you guys ever feel like the industry left you behind?
What you think? So we gonna go this way.
That was a good one, Sonny. But he said, you think? But I think the industry. Hold on, say you said what?
Do you think that the industry left you behind?
I won't use left us. I would say we fell back.
Okay.
Too much. You know what I mean? And you can't leave us. First of all, I want you to understand something. We was ahead of the industry. That was something, and that's not a good thing. Cause too far ahead means you just too far ahead. You know what I mean? You really gotta be in that mix to where you can catch people can catch you, people can feel you. We were so ahead of the game that it was just too much for people. People look at it like that's hot, but it just was too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as far as the industry leaving us, I think, like I said, when the game switched and the internet started coming in and you started talking about yourself and started telling what you do, that just was something we wasn't with.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you my every move and what I'm eating or what's going on. We just wasn't into that. But at the same time, like I always say this is a game.
Right.
This internet, this whole thing is a game. And if you ain't with playing it, you probably will fall out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you gonna play it, we'd be the superstars in it. That's something we just had to realize through time. Because still at this time, you still look at shit and be like, man, you telling on yourself. You still look at it like that, but they look at it like, no, this the game. The views going up, they getting paid, and they safe, and they comfortable with being, with looking like how they look. That's just some shit
when
that
you ain't used to something, and then you gotta do it, you be like, I ain't doing that because you ain't used to doing. Like talking on camera, you can do an interview, but people be telling their business.
I mean, you think about people were getting locked up from the internet. Like, and not only getting locked up, you know that the internet can get you locked up and still doing it.
Yeah. But when people finally realized it was always happening, back then it was the DVDs. So on DVDs, guys spoke a lot, and that shit got played in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, when you was in the dance for real in the streets, and that was the blessing with us, that we ain't never had to lead with our street stories, because we rich in those as well.
Yeah.
Very rich. But we can just keep it straight industry and life, because our lives were so interesting and fun-filled and adventurous that we don't even have to tap into that as much. But at some point, we will.
Oh, the question that you asked. Like,
Yeah,
the
Niggas be zoning up, bro.
It was like that because it wasn't used to talking on camera.
Right.
And then slowly but surely got into it, and then you can't keep me off that motherfucker. I mean, because he learned to do it, to benefit from it. Like, I won't get on there and be just cooning, acting crazy, like just starting beefs and just saying wild stuff. I'm still got dignity, but I do it to be seen and entertain people because it's entertaining.
Bottom line, you have to do it.
Yeah, you gotta entertain, but I won't do no.
And I'm not gonna front. Pride play a part in all that shit. Cause I know my pride played a part of this whole internet shit. For real, I'm a TV nigga. I'm fun, sense of humor. I got everything, all the attributes to be the fuck on TV, and don't use it. All because I'm like, you know, you just think like that's not, you wasn't supposed to be on there like that. Now it's the game. I need to be on it. So I'm telling you now, my pride is out the window. I'm doing all the shit I'm doing.
Just ain't talking reckless, like just
no
getting on here, just dissing somebody. Now you gonna tell the truth if you feel a way about somebody. Like, yo, this what happened with me and that person, but ain't doing it to get, you know, go viral. And
I can talk about
somebody.
anybody if I'm not disrespecting them. Like you can give off, like you said, the truth. Yeah, it's my opinion.
Opinion is an opinion. But people are so goddamn sensitive now.
I was just about to say something like that.
Even over opinion, but you know what? Listen, what we talk, we standing on.
Right.
Right.
And
Now,
that's what I
yeah.
Moving forward,
Yeah.
you guys lost Q. You had an additional person that you added as a member by the name of Meek Millz. Not to confuse it by Meek Mill, but Meek Millz. How was that? Gearing them up to become a member of Naam Brigade. You know, and what was that like for you guys?
Well, he was there at the time of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
he was like a young guy in our neighborhood that, you know, listen, we influenced a lot of people. And he rapped and he wanted to get with us. And like I told you earlier, we ain't never have a problem putting somebody on.
Right.
Put somebody in position. But we, like I said, we very professional. So we gave him, he was doing the mixtape at the time.
the black one.
So we gave him a time to be on the corner. If he want to go, he was there. He came, and then he did his thing.
He got busy.
Yeah, he did his thing. He made a home for us.
And it was like, in the family now, because he was a rapper from the neighborhood. He had his own crew, but they were younger than us. So our homie Doc kept bothering me and Sonny, like, yo, put him on. So we like, all right, we going to mixtape, bring him. Like Sonny said, the corner, he was there. And he went in the booth and set it on fire, and then that's when
the people responded to him. So
yeah.
It was a no-brainer after that.
Jay-Z had an album called Blueprint. It was a song on there called All I Need. Am I correct?
Yeah.
It was controversial over that, you know, and still to this day, you know, you guys, the originators of that song, am I correct?
Absolutely.
Can you give me a backstory of that?
Backstory that would be, we recorded this record in VA, producer Meek. P.D. Crack was actually at the session with us. He went down there with us. And this was before he was with the Rock.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Petey. Petey got Q9 tat on his arm. That's how locked in we was at that time. We recorded that record, and that was going to be like the first single off the Electra album. And they loved it. Rockefeller loved it because Jay Brown was the connection. Jay Brown was our A&R, but Jay Brown is the, I think he's the president of Rock Nation now. So that was like a whole little brother. So he used to come to the sessions and everything. There was an A&R guy named Hip Hop at the time. They loved that record. There was a record that they loved, and then when Q9 passed, you know, we had bags of Skittles that everybody came for. And I like to say that to this day it's an honor though. That's whole. We ain't gonna slight that. You know, but what that say about us?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Put some respect on our name, man. Period.
Did Jay-Z ever give you any recognition of it, or like did he ever contact you guys and salute you or say thank you, things like that?
Yeah, at that time he reached out. You know, we got the business handled at some point, you know, but it was actually, the album was actually already out. But then they came back and had the relationship with Jay Brown, because now we was, at that point, we was on Artist Direct, doing a whole nother album. So we bounced back after the Elektra album. So he did reach out to have a conversation, but at that time, he wanted to kind of directly talk to us, but those calls was, you know, some people stepped in front of that call, which is cool. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, he reached out, for sure.
Did you guys receive any type of publishing or anything from his record, All I Need?
Absolutely, to the day.
May I help you?
Yeah, I need to purchase a gun, please.
Do you know what kind of firearm you're looking for?
Something powerful, you know, but to get to it.
Do you want to grab or what?
Yeah, man, what you think I came all the way here for nothing?
The fuck she watching?
This looks like exactly what I need.
Everybody put your motherfucking hands in the air! Y'all know what this is! Hey, man, slow the fuck down, man!
Phoenix. Yeah, where? Southwest? We on our way.
What do we got?
211 turned into a 187 of a pawn shop owner.
I've never seen anyone shot before, especially not like that.
She's been through a rough one.
Yeah, I can tell. Our person made this one really ugly.
You got something on your mind, Seth?
Michael Thompson, street name Blast.
Bring my money back. Don't make me choke the shit out of you, all right?
Petty gun dealers? You really think it's them behind all this?
Keep pointing the fucking gun right at you! I don't give a fuck about that gun!
Shit, we got us a little lover's quarrel here.
I was calling because I wanted to fuck your brains loose tonight. Seriously, come get this pussy.
Really?
You got a gun in your taxi.
This is Banks. Let them know we're on our way over now. We're in the area.
Detective Banks. Surprised seeing you here.
Thought you were out on retirement.
Not yet.
All right, today we're going to continue learning basic algebra.
What was that all about?
Yeah, 911 got a call. A victim came home to an intruder, reported robbery. All right, well, I'll go over to the train station in the morning and just try to see what I can find out.
Yeah, well, I hope blasting that gun show up again. I really hate to see anyone else get hurt with that one gun.
Oh shoot, this joint real.
Run, Jimmy, run!